Today we're going to be doing a sew along to my kids' construction vest sewing pattern. I will link the pattern down below if you're interested in checking that out. But yeah, like always, I include the printing settings, on 100% scale on A4 paper. I also include a picture of how to assemble and tape to create your pattern pieces. And lastly, the size chart. So yeah, let's get started by first doing the test square. So I always add a little 2 by 2 inch square, measure with the measuring tape, and if it's exactly 2 inches by 2, then you have printed out the pattern correctly on scale, so we're ready to tape everything together. Another thing that I wanted to quickly mention is that this pattern is a little bit different from the previous ones that I've shown you so far. Basically, if you see on the pattern right now, there's like a ribbon placement, so there's a bunch of lines on the vest, and when I had all of the sizes all together in one file, everything was kind of like overlapping. I feel like it was a little bit confusing even though everything was colored per size. I feel like it was too much, so I went ahead and I separated all the sizes per file. So for example, you want a size 3T, click on the file that is labeled 3T, and so you're going to be printing and getting that size only. So yeah, hopefully that makes it a lot easier. I am trying to make these sewing patterns as easy as possible for you guys. But yeah, okay. Now, when it comes to taping, we're kind of overlapping a little bit of the paper. We're matching the circles. So the gray circles, we have to make sure that they're matching, and we're going to tape them. And ta-da! This is what your pattern should look like already assembled and taped. I have size 2 and 6 on display for you to kind of see what they look like. Let me quickly cut them and I'll be right back. Now let's talk about the ribbon and the ribbon placement. I found this really cool reflective one on Amazon. I'll link both of mine down below, but you can definitely check out your local craft store. They probably should have some of that. On the vest, I put, it's basically a guide. You don't have to follow mine if you don't want to. I just put a guide on there, and I have a size 2 on here. And what's important about this is that just keep that in mind when you're shopping, what size you're going to be using before you buy your ribbon, because as you can see, the 2 inch is too big for the size 2 versus a size 6. It works perfectly fine if you put it vertically or horizontally. It's going to work great. However, with the smaller size, you will probably have to mix two sizes. For the shoulder, you're going to have to use like the 1 inch, and then across the 2 inch. And then lastly, we're going to be using bias tape to finish the vest on the edges and make a nice finish on that, along with adding it as well on the armholes. I have my fabric already cut. Now I'm going to quickly mark on the vest with just my pins where I'm gonna place the ribbon. Now I'm going to grab my ribbon and start measuring and cutting. I also like to keep just a little bit of extra ribbon on the side, especially if you're cutting vertically, and I'll show you guys later why. Going to do the same thing for the front of the vest when adding the ribbon. However, the only difference is that you do want to make sure that the sides and the shoulder sides are matching. The ribbon is balanced, right? You don't want it crooked or anything, so just keep double checking that when you're cutting and placing the ribbon on the vest. Now that we're done adding all of the ribbon on the vest, we're going to finally sew all of the sides. But also, again, please keep in mind that when you're pinning, to still make sure that you're matching the ribbons on both the sides and shoulders. And lastly, we're going to be adding our bias tape on the edge of the vest all around, as well as the armholes. And yeah, we're pretty much done. Here is the vest. Thank you for coming along to the sew along, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.